All right, let's just drag our window over here. Now we were right around our 4,000 marker point, so let's use our down arrow. So here we're about 4,000. And again, we've added some fueling in there, the higher throttle angles right there. So we should be better. We'll have to try the next go around here. Now notice when I'm looking right in here, this is about 5,000 RPM. Notice that we're rich right here. So this is showing it's taking out about a 15% correction right here. I'm gonna bring these values down. So from roughly 9% throttle and below, I'm gonna go ahead and do add subtract. Let's take away 15% right here. And then when I come on the throttle here about 45, notice that we're adding some fueling in that mid-range right in here. So between, let's say 12 and 20%. Looks like it's adding a couple percent of fuel. So I'm gonna go in here at roughly 20. I'm gonna add about 10% of fuel here. I'm gonna vertically blend this down to 9%. And then let's go take a look above that 20% range, what that looks like. Here it is adding 30% fuel. So we're off considerably in this area right here, right around 4,500. I'm gonna go in here, right click, and I'm gonna add in 30% right here. Considerable amount, and I'm gonna blend that vertically. So we were off right in there. No big deal, we'll clean this up as we go on. As I was mentioning before, it is trial and error, but we will get this right. And we'll just horizontally interpolate right there. Okay, so let's take a look now at the next area here. That's gonna be about 5,000 RPM. I think I went up to about 550, 500. Now notice, it's taking out a considerable amount of fuel here. Here's even 30%. Now we did reduce the fuel from roughly 4,500 and we just highlighted up the rest of the table. We might need to take a little bit more out in here. So we could bump this out maybe another 10%. And we'll vertically interpolate right here. This process isn't hard, it's just making sure that you're kind of following the trend with the table, making sure that you're editing things smoothly. Now if we go up here into the higher throttle angles, notice if we go up to right about 30, 40, 50% throttle, it's adding about 30% in right here. So I'm gonna say in this range right here, 30, 40%, we're probably gonna have to add another 30% in because it was just lean, and then we'll vertically interpolate here. Took out a little bit too much fuel that last time. So now we have a table that looks relatively smooth in terms of our values, what we're looking at here. So if we go in here, you know what, I'm gonna leave the table alone. We're not gonna edit any further. Let's go and look at our variable cam performance and make sure that that looks good. See if we can adjust anything there, because that's the other concern that we had. Now looking as it's operating in steady state, we can see here that the duty cycle ultimately ends up about 83, 84% to hold it for the actual cam target to do what it should in that range. The integral is doing less of adjustment. It's only about a 20% adjustment because we increased the feed forward values about 20%. So before it was adding about 40, 43%. Now it's doing about 20, 23%. I'm not gonna go any higher with the feed forward values. We'll park it there and we'll see how it performs when we're doing more full throttle tuning and changing the cam angle and going through that process. But for right now, this is doing what we needed to do for doing our tuning process, and the actual and the cam target are doing exactly what we want. They're holding together, or the actual is holding to the cam target. So the VVT control is doing what it should, and it looks stable. It's not oscillating or doing anything odd. So I think our PID values should be good, at least to kind of get things going. So this all looks good here. I'm gonna go in and let me just save this file. Let's do a save as. And
thanks for checking out our teaser clip. If you want to see the rest of this video and more than 500 hours of current EFI training we have to offer, make sure you click right here. If you want to go and check out more teaser clips from this training course, click here, and you don't want to miss any of the videos we're going to be releasing on this channel, so make sure you subscribe and click here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.